What's up, guys? Welcome back. Outside Broadcasting coming back to you guys again here today, this time from Dover. This is the second race in the round of 16, so after this will be Kansas, the elimination. So we are straight off of New Hampshire, the second New Hampshire race, the final one for this season. This is the final Dover race. This is the second Dover race of the season, 80 laps here. Believe they will see lap traffic unless we get cautions, which we don't typically have too many, if any, here. So yeah, the playoff standings, Kyle Larson straight off a win, so he's locked into the round of 12. Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin are pretty much locks. They're plus 57, plus 55, like expected. And then Ryan Blaney and William Byron have a small cushion, like a little over 20 points for both. They are about 30, plus 30, and plus 24. And then it gets close. Ty Gibbs, Tyler Reddick, and Joey Logano are plus 7. Chase Elliott plus 4. Christopher Bell plus 3. And then you got Chastain and Bowman plus 1. You got Brad Keselowski minus 1. Trying to do this all off the top of my head. You got minus 5 for Chris Buescher. No, minus 5 for Kyle Busch, and then minus 7 for Chris Buescher and Bubba Wallace. Qualifying is going to be important. Let's see it. Oh, Bubba Wallace is second. That's huge. Comes into this race minus 7. That's actually huge. He starts second. Christopher Bell still looking for that first win of the season. Again, Bowman, a top 10, could find himself in the round of 12 if he keeps doing that. Ooh, we got some non-playoff guys making a difference here. Suarez, Dillon, Cindric, and Briscoe. 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. That's puts second race for Ty Gibbs. Not great. If he gets eliminated in the round of 12, that's in the round of 16, that's a disappointment. I think he's a round of 8 driver for sure. So, oh my gosh, if he gets eliminated in the round of 16. 16th comes in plus 7. Brad Keselowski. Ross Chastain, 25th. Imagine if he gets eliminated. Championship 4 driver from a season ago could be out in the round of 16. Starts 25th. Wow, New Hampshire was boring. This one I don't think will be, because RFK not looking good, 22nd and 23rd. This could end up being Bubba Wallace versus Ty Gibbs for the final spot. Kyle Busch, though, where's he at? Where is he? Uh-oh. 33rd for Kyle Busch. I don't think he's been that bad all season. What happened? That's not good. He comes in minus. So this is going to end up being, depending on how much Wallace can make up, Wallace, Gibbs in. It'd be Busch, Chastain, and both RFK cars out. Wow. Well, let's see it. This is going to be interesting. Chastain comes in plus 1. 25th won't cut it. This is going to be interesting. Kyle Busch, 33rd. What happened? All right, well, let's see it. If he gets in a wreck back there, he's going to be in a must-win going in the next week. Christopher Bell hasn't won this season. Neither is Bubba Wallace. 80 lapper here. Fuel shouldn't be an issue. No, 99 laps. Here we go from Dover. Tell you what, Elliott, Bowman, and Logano are going to get in straight up off of consistency, which is really what those three have been all season, consistent. That's big. Bubba got down there in second. Imagine if he could win his way in. Bell, Wallace, Blaney. Blaney's consistently a top 2, top 3 car. He just doesn't lead laps, but yet he finds himself in position to win at the end. Same with Reddick, a spot or 2 worse than Blaney typically. Larson in 5th, Truex 6th, Bowman and Elliott going at it. Elliott's on the apron. Saved it. 300 cars here. Almost could have been in trouble. Elliott, Bowman, Byron. Elliott slipping here. Bowman and Byron got by him. Suarez, they're actually racing pretty hard back here. A lot of 2x2. Ty Gibbs Denny Hamlin, a little further back than they want to be. Hamlin has a big cushion, though, as long as he doesn't DNF. And even if he does, he still might be okay. Chase Briscoe off of a valve issue in the engine a week ago, DNF'd. Is Kyle Busch making up any spots? He's lost spots back to 35th. Actually, he's dead last. He's racing for dead last right now. This car made the playoffs, was around a 12 potential car, battling for dead last with 2 Kaulig cars. Bell out front here. Suarez 2 good weeks in a row. It's a little late to start having these good weeks, but the way the playoffs are shaping up, he'd probably be in the round of 12. But he really has been quiet all season, outside the top 20 for most of this season. Suarez starting to turn it around, a little too late now. Back-to-back top 10s here. He was 6th a week ago. Running 10th here. That would be enough to get in. Stenhouse inside the top 15. Dillon, Zane Smith is 17th. Keselowski needs to move. Chastain needs to move. He's up to 24th. Bubba Wallace could end up saving himself here and getting into the round of 12. Obviously, we still have another race yet, so this is going to set us up for one more race at Kansas. Christopher Bell out front trying to get a win here. Some playoff points to start the next round with, if he can manage to do it. Kyle Busch got a couple spots, but, I mean, he's going to have to move fast. Like, he's going to need, like, 15 spots just to potentially point his way in next week, and I don't see that happening. Chastain and Busch are not too far ahead, but problem is Busch is barely ahead of Buescher, and he's behind Chastain. So, I mean, if he can at least break even with them, those three will probably be close. You know, Keselowski. Probably end up being Wallace versus Keselowski for the last spot, which right now definitely is going to go to Wallace. Obviously, this is not a cutoff race, but I'm acting as if it is. Christopher Bell out front. Bubba Wallace there in second. So Wallace is about minus, what, 6 on Keselowski. And he's about 17 spots better. So Keselowski would be minus 11 to Bubba. And Buescher, Chastain, and Busch will both be pretty far lower than them. Imagine Busch and Chastain out in the round of 16. Stewart, Hostel, and Party around 20th with Briscoe, Barry, and Priest 20th, 21st, 22nd. Bell's starting to get away from Wallace a little bit. We will see where lap traffic is at because that probably will make a difference here. About half a lap back. So he likely will get there without a caution. About 12 seconds back. Blaney looking under Wallace for second. Not going to get there. 2311 cars here, second and fourth. Both of them look pretty competitive here. Blaney under him that time, I think. No, not quite. Getting aggressive with him. We will be back. Chastain, Bush is still 23rd and 24th. Kyle Busch is up to 32nd. It's not good for the 8. Going to be in a must-win likely going into next week. Bell starting to dominate. Pulling away from Bubba Wallace almost to second. Lap traffic almost 16 seconds back. They're about middle of turn 1 and 2. About Bell into 1. Hemrick quarter of the way down the back stretch. So he's about off the finish line as they get into the corner. Middle of the back, middle of the corner. So about 3/4 of a lap back. Bell is getting away. Reddick has got by Blaney, so the 2311 cars are now second and third. Toyota, 1, 2, 3. Hendrick cars, 5th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. All of them are pretty much together. Halfway through this thing, Christopher Bell over a second gap to Bubba Wallace, who has about half a second to Tyler Reddick, who has another half a second to Blaney, who has company from Larson and Truex. Bell looking to get that first win of the season. About time. 28 races in for Christopher Bell, defending champion. Starting to look like that champion form of Christopher Bell. Now, of course, it's only one race, but at least he's pointed in the right direction here, getting away from the 23 car. That 9 car, he's 0 for, I don't know, what is 36 plus 28? It's about 60. About 64 races. He's 0 for 64 races here between Season 1 Season 2. Chase Elliott hasn't won yet. We've seen Bubba Wallace win. We've seen Keselowski win twice. One this year, one last year. We've seen Buescher win earlier this season. We've seen a Ty Gibbs win. We've seen a Joey Logano win. One this year, one last year. Both came at super speedways. When will that 9 car get in victory lane? Will the 9 car get in victory lane might be the better question, because it ain't happened yet. Chastain's up to 21st. That's good for him, because Buescher's still 24th. Every point's going to matter at this point. He needs to close in as close as he can on Keselowski, and it'll end up being... I mean, they got to hope Bubba drops a few spots, because... I mean, running second is the best thing this 23 car could have asked for, and he has run second this whole race. He's going to be in good shape, but who knows? It could completely flip the script when we go to Kansas. If I recall, I think Wallace was actually pretty good here in the first Dover race, but I don't know. Bell just drove off. Will we see lap traffic? I mean, Bell's getting there. He might be able to see him ahead. No, not really. Wallace gained 2/10 on Bell for some reason that time. Nobody's in front of Bell. Another 4/10. What is happening to the 20? $24.3 last time. $23.9. I don't know what's happening to the 20 car. Does he lose more again this time? Stayed about even that time. And there's nobody in front of this 20 car. Gained the 10th back there. I don't know why he lost so much time all of a sudden. 2 laps in a row, lost over half a second. It's kind of evening out a little bit. Reddick is all over Wallace for second. Reddick is going to enter this race with a decent points gap going in the next week. If he can finish off a top 3 finish here. Larson we know is a lock. Byron Bowman going at it here. Chase Elliott pretty close as well. Hendrick Carr battle here for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Or no, this is 7th, 8th, and 9th, I believe. Elliott a bad exit there. Logano going to get to him. Colin Carr struggling here at the back. Kyle Busch, 31st. I mean, he is just running bad. Like, that is awful for this 8 car. Reddick, Blaney, Larson going at it here. All behind this 23. Christopher Bell's built up quite the gap again, almost 2 seconds. And with 23 to go, I mean, I can only imagine we should see lap traffic. Over 20 seconds back is Daniel Hemrick. Two and a half seconds back. A big lead for Christopher Bell. No caution. Lap traffic has to be right ahead here. It's not too far out there, but with only 11 to go, may not make a difference for the 20 of Bell. Chastain 21st, Buescher is 22nd, Keselowski is 17th, Kyle Busch still 31st. The best he can do is probably 30th. And I don't know if that'll make a difference for him. That car hasn't won yet this season. Busch won once last year at Bristol. Not too much longer for old Christopher Bell. Looking for that first win of the season. Almost a 3-second gap back to Bubba Wallace, who is having the best run Bubba Wallace could have possibly asked for here in the round of 16. Came in here -7, and with the struggles of Chastain, of Buescher, and Kyle Busch, he is definitely going to come out of here with a pretty decent points gap as well, running second. And guys, you got to beat our 20th, 22nd, 31st, or Busch is now up to 30th. This is not the time for a 30th place run, Kyle Busch. Coming up on lap traffic, it really won't matter for Christopher Bell with 6 to go. Bowman, back-to-back top 8, top 9 runs. That's going to get him in more than likely. Chase Elliott, same thing. Joey Logano, same thing. You see Hamlin there in 14th. He has such a big gap. Him and Truex are going to be locks if they finish where they're at coming out of this thing. Both of them. Larson obviously won. Bell looks like he's going to get a win. And we already know Reddick and Blaney are going to have big point cushions coming out of this race after back-to-back top 5s for them. Or at least for Blaney. I think Reddick was top 10, but Reddick comes in about +7. He's going to extend that for sure. And then Bubba Wallace is going to have a decent gap over Ross Chastain, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and Kyle Busch. Those are the 4 likely to be eliminated if this continues to go the way it's going. No issues here for anybody, it looks like, with engine problems or anything like that. We saw a valve issue for Chase Briscoe a week ago. He runs 19th. Hemrick here. First lap Carbell is going to get to with a 3-second gap. Coming to 3 to go. I doubt Wallace is going to get there, so... Looking pretty good for the 20. Defending champion hasn't won yet this season, and that's about to change. 2 to go. If a caution comes out now, race is over. It will end under caution. Byron, another one, going to come out of here with a solid points cushion as well. So there won't be too much of a points battle going in the next week. Now, I know that'll change. Round of 12, round of 8. White flag for the 20 of Christopher Bell. And Bubba Wallace, a phenomenal run. Going to put himself right back in the mix for a round of 12 slot for the 23 team. As we see the likes of champions below the cut line. Christopher Bell, the winner here at Dover. First time this season that 20 car goes to victory lane. Off of a 3-win season, championship season ago. This is what Christopher Bell needed. Chastain ends up 21st, Buescher 22nd. Jeez. Elimination race will be Kansas. See you guys then. Christopher Bell led a lot of laps for somebody with no wins. Well, now, 1 win. But you can see the domination has been Truex and Hamlin. Reddick leads the series in DNS with 3. Yeah, I don't know why or when this happened. Kyle Busch apparently missed a race. That doesn't have any effect on his playoffs, though. That was a while ago. But... and he likely wouldn't have been in the top 10 anyway, so that doesn't really make a difference for Busch, but I don't know how or why that happened. But, alright, see you guys in Kansas.